Welcome to Sweet Tea with Coach Key.
No slime, no grime.
Straight sugar. Real life stories of inspiration, perseverance, and prosperity. I hope you have your teacups ready. We have the sugar.
Hi, and welcome. This is my first podcast episode, and this episode is, Can You Stand to Be Blessed? I know that T.D. Jakes has a book out called Can You Stand to Be Blessed? But this sort of just came to me. If you don't know, I have gone through 2 surgeries in the last 2 months. First surgery was with my digestive system, and the second surgery was actually on my neck. And this was a cancer scare. My doctor thought that I had cancer. He thought that I had lymphoma. So he had to go in and do this whole test and this whole process, and it was quite invasive, and it was an emotional, a mental hurdle to jump for me as well as my family. But during that process, I had to become dependent on my family and the people who loved me and who were around me, who could help me, because I was sort of unable to fulfill my obligations as I normally would. I was unable to work as I normally would, take on additional tasks with being present, sort of behind the scenes, sort of like this podcast I could do. But when it came to speaking publicly, facilitating, teaching, I had to sort of be behind the scenes and wasn't able to take advantage of those opportunities, which in turn turned into a financial situation as well. So I had to be in a place where I was able to accept help. Hence the reason for this podcast. Why is it so difficult for us to accept help? Why is it so hard for us to say, you know what, thank you? So let's talk about it, right? So I find that introverts are the people who have the most difficulty accepting help. People who you don't normally hear much from. When something is going on in their life, you won't really know. They're pretty much quiet anyway. They pretty much keep to themselves, so you really won't know. Hence, also when they need help, they also will not ask for help. And when it comes to needing help, those are more so the people who are like, no, I'm good. I don't need help. I'll be all right. So introverts are the type of people who are more so struggle with this. And people who have been taken advantage of in the past. So if you have offered someone a place to stay, or given people money, or helped someone out regardless, watching their children or whatever it may be, a fear receiving help, someone may have that same perception of you. Someone may think that you would abuse the help as well. Because you've been taken advantage of in the past, you think that your situation is not as big and you don't need help because you don't want to take advantage of people. And that's just not true. If you need help, you need help. There are different levels of needs. Your need may not be as intense or as severe as someone else's. That doesn't mean that you don't have a need. You know, you may need an extra egg for that cornbread you need to bake. You may need, I don't know, a bar of soap. You may be running late and you can't run to the store and get some. That's not going to be as serious as a kid who hasn't eaten in 3 days, but you still have a need. And it's okay to ask, because there are people who are willing and able to help you. And I also find that people that feel like they're unworthy, just flat out, I don't deserve it. You know, it's okay. We question so much of the good and expect so much of the bad, the tainted, the tarnished, just all the scum. We don't question that. We always question the good. And so many of us, when we get those abundant blessings that we can't explain, we know it had to be God. We question those things, and we're more prone to push those things away, and also just don't take care of them because we already have that fear that it's going to be taken away. So don't talk yourself out of a blessing that you feel unworthy of. God gives us so much that we already have not deserved. Speaking of his love, we don't earn that. We didn't earn his love. It's our birthright. It's our birthright to be abundant. It's our birthright to be prosperous. So don't feel that you're unworthy of whatever that thing is. Just here recently, I was blessed with my children with school supplies and just school shoes. I mean, overflow. And it wasn't that I didn't have the money to take care of it or, whatever the case may be, but it was God saying, you know what, I'm going to take this burden off of you. You don't have to worry about this. And I have gotten to the point with going through this experience these last 2 months that, don't question those good things. It's not the fact of you not being able to or you being inadequate, but if God is saying, here, take this, then take it. Every single time I go buy a new pair of shoes, it doesn't necessarily mean that I don't have any. As a matter of fact, it definitely doesn't mean I don't have any because I have shoes. But I'm blessing myself. I'm taking the liberty to bless myself with more. And that's okay. So don't feel like you're unworthy, whether you have abused something in the past, whether you have not taken up opportunities in the past. Today is a new day, and our God is very merciful. And he's very gracious. So don't feel like you're unworthy of whatever it is that somebody's trying to bless you with. And it brings me to my next point of pride. Sometimes we're just too prideful. Oh, I have to maintain this look of, the way social media has it with Instagram and Facebook. I have to maintain this stature. I cannot possibly ask anybody for help. And it's just not true. Any realist will tell you, you will have peaks and you will have valleys. You will go through. That's just a fact of life. So don't allow yourself to be placed in a box by yourself. So you put yourself in this box where you can't ask for help and you don't need help. It's just not true. You have this independent mindset where I'm not going to ask somebody for those couple dollars for gas until I get paid. Or I don't have any money for lunch today. I left my lunch on the counter. Or I just don't have money. I'm not going to ask this person, can they share their lunch with me or loan me a couple dollars until Friday. Why is that so hard for you? Because of the pride thing. Pride is a sin. It's you thinking that you're higher than what you are. And that's something that we all, in one way or another, have to deal with because of the day and time that we're living in. If pride is the reason, if you're doing your self-reflection and you need help and you determine that it is the reason that you're unable to ask for help, it's pride. If pride is that underlying issue, that's something that you definitely want to pray about, and that's something that you definitely want to work towards. And I like to say, if I'm working towards something, a bad habit is something that I've been doing for a long time, I like to start nibbling at it small, little by little, and asking for help as time go on. I don't have to ask for it all at once, but I can start asking for small things so that I'll get to the point where that pride is not hanging over my head and I'm afraid to ask for help. The next reason that I thought of a reason why we would be afraid to ask for help or unwilling to accept help is fear of rejection. So if we ask for it, we're afraid that somebody's going to tell us no because we've been told no so many times. We're afraid that this time will be no different. And it very well may be. You may get a no, right? But you may also get a yes. So if you need something and you are trying to determine if you're going to ask or if you're not going to ask, well, until you ask, you still are at the same spot that you were 10 minutes ago, an hour ago, a day ago. You haven't moved past that point. They can only tell you yes or no. It's not going to make you or break you. If you know that you're a child of God and you know that He is going to provide, your life or death is not in the hands of a person. That's in the hands of God. It's not even within your hands. It's in the hands of God. So don't give people the power to make you feel that you can't move forward with something because you're so afraid to get that yes or no. And remember, if there is a no, God has something better for you. It's not to have you without or for you to stay in a place of lack. It's because He has something better for you. So don't be afraid to move forward with asking for help. Another reason is reciprocity. We feel like if somebody's giving us something, we got to have something to give in return. And that's the way that the world works. You know, a lot of people give and expect things in return. I'm not one of those people. I sort of get offended when I've done something for someone and they intentionally give me something back just to, tick for tack. I don't like that. I feel the only thing you owe me is appreciation. Just show me that you appreciate it by saying thank you and allow it to bless you and allowing it to make a difference. So if I've helped you in this way, if I've done something for you, if I've given you money, use that money for whatever it is that you say you're going to use it for. Now, you don't have to answer to me, but for your best interest, use it for what you say you're going to use it for. Show that my help, my blessing you is going to make a difference. I don't need for you to give me something back. If I buy you lunch today, I don't need you to buy me lunch on Thursday. Because in turn, that shows me that you don't know how to accept help, and I cannot bless you. Allow yourself to be blessed. I don't give in order for you to bless me, to give you in something in return. If I'm giving it from my heart, and I encourage you to have people in your life who are like that. Don't surround yourself or have people in your circle who always want something from you. Whether you do something for them or not, they always got their hand out. No. No. That's not the way that it should be. That's not the way the giving process works. That's business. That's not giving. So all in all, I can just say that God has placed you in a position to be blessed and allow people to bless you. This experience with this whole cancer scare and not being able to do half as much as I normally do has been a transition. It has been a process. It's been an adjustment for me. But let me tell you something. What I've gotten out of this experience is a clear windshield to be able to see the people who truly love me, have my best interest at heart for me, my family, including my husband, my children, my mother-in-law, my mama, everybody who loves my family. I can see very clearly the people who have my best interest at heart. And I'm so appreciative. I'm so thankful. And the only way that you'll be able to determine and decipher those people is to go through a hard time and need something. So if someone is trying to bless you, even when you're not doing your worst or not in a state of serious lack, allow people to bless you, and you in turn bless people as well. You give, and that cycle of reaping what you sow, it will return back to you. And when you know that you're good people and you're doing good for people, don't question when those blessings come back around, because you're worthy and you're deserving of them. All right, so this concludes the first podcast. Can you stand to be blessed? Will you allow God to bless you? I hope and pray that you have a wonderful, wonderful remainder of your week, and you take care. From Coach Key, I love you.